you're listening.
I just don't care.
Look, if you're 300 pounds, then you are a monster, and I don't want you to talk.
Welcome back to This Is A Work. My name is David Hensley. I'm the owner and creative director of Long Walk Productions, and I am here to introduce your host, David Two Doggz Hayes.
Thank you very much, David Hensley, and welcome to Rock Hill, South Carolina's only premier wrestling pay-per-view podcast. This is A Work. With me, as always, my tag team partner, Chris, the Fashion Plate Barnes. How are you, brother?
It's a pleasure to be here in this time of year amongst kith and kin to sit by the fire and talk about TLC 2020.
Indeed. And Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody. Man, good Lord, what a year it's been. See, you got the COVID now.
Oh,
That's from eating the walnuts.
Oh,
That's
no.
what it had.
I shouldn't have bought the COVID flavor.
So we did. We watched WWE's Tables, Ladders, and Chairs Sunday night. Surprisingly good pay-per-view. Not without its problems, but and I got a few bones I got to pick. But what do you say we go ahead and get into it, huh?
Like a gift from a relative, it's mostly all right.
Yeah. But if you got the receipt.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
So we're going to start out with the pre-show, and we have the team of Daniel Bryan, Chad Gable, Otis, and Big E versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, Sammy, Zayn, and who? Oh God, who am I forgetting? Or was that it? No, I'm forgetting somebody, right?
You are. There was 4-on-4, so
Yeah, who am I forgetting?
I don't know. I thought you'd remember.
Baron freaking Corbin. That's
That
who
was
it
your
was.
brain trying to protect itself.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can be forgiven for forgetting that one.
Yeah.
It was the first three guys and just a weird shimmering mass.
Yeah. Now, first of all, what world do we live in where Daniel Bryan is on the pre-show with Chad freaking Gable and
I like how you call
Baron Corbin?
I like how you're calling him Chad freaking Gable, considering I keep noticing his look is now like a mini angle.
Yeah, we're back to being the Olympian, the technical wrestler that he is. And then don't get me wrong, I'm shitting on him a little bit, but because he's dynamic, he really is great. But really, we've been burying him for 2 years, and now he's still at the bottom rung. And we put Daniel Bryan there too. I understand we're putting Otis down there. I understand Vince doesn't like him because he's fat. Or whatever the reason is. Big E, he's used to being the curtain jerker. He's always going to raise the roof a little bit. It's going to be fine. Daniel Bryan's got no business there. That's my biggest. And honestly, neither does Shinsuke or Cesaro or Sammy for that matter.
True. He's our Intercontinental Champion.
Right. So there's, you know what? I'm not going down this train. This is going to be an hour if we do this. And I won't even get out of the pre-show. So there's nothing really wrong with this match. There's nothing really right with it. There was no point to it. I guess the only real point to it is we have Big E pinning Sammy for the go home on this.
Right.
Which Michael Cole couldn't wait to go, Big E just pinned the Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn.
Yes, we saw. We all saw.
He's going to get a shot at the title now because he won an 8-man tag. Because that's wrestling knowledge. That's how that works. That just makes sense.
Especially if you're booking late WCW.
Yeah.
That's sometimes how you win a world title.
Yeah. So there we go. So we can expect Big E to have a title shot probably at the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, they've been setting that up all over the place. Yeah.
They have. But, everybody in here looked good. There were no blown spots that I paid attention to or anything.
Not really.
It's not that it was a bad match. It's just that it was just thrown together for...
It was clearly, we want something for these guys to do, so
yeah.
They're all in some way fighting each other, so tag.
Yeah.
The spirit of Teddy Long.
I'm really glad we got to see Shinsuke and Cesaro.
Yeah, exactly.
That was mighty nice of them to let them out of the cage for a little while.
A nice little Christmas gift to you.
Yeah. Again, nothing wrong with the match. I gave it a 2 just because there was no point to it.
No point, just a little fun back and forth.
Yeah. Moving into the real card, we have the ladder match, the Raw TLC match.
Yeah.
It's a fucking ladder match. Just call it what it is.
TLC is a glorified ladder match. Where
Yeah.
It's just like, here's some obvious things we're going to use for spots.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that you could use those in a ladder match.
Right, and they do.
Mm-hmm.
And but we don't call it that.
Because now you're required to.
Yeah. So we have AJ Styles versus our Raw champion or our WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. Man, this was a fun match.
Oh,
this
yeah.
was great.
Yeah, it was a real fun match. A lot of fun. Just a great. They work really well together, and on top of that, it took a twist I did not expect.
Yeah. But no, you stumbled onto something. They worked well together.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen AJ work a good program
Yeah.
in a while, and I don't mean this year. I mean it's been a couple of years since we've said, "Wow, way to go, AJ."
Well, no. The last ladder match he was in with Sammy and
Oh, that's right. He was great in that one too.
It was
you know
Sammy
what it
and
is? It's the ladder match.
It kind of is.
That's
Well,
the common denominator.
It's because he's X Division.
There you go.
I think it just heightens him a lot when he's got that kind of parameters to work in.
Oh, that Impact champion that he is. We'll talk about that after.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, so these guys are going back and forth, fantastic spots. They both look great. Drew's keeping up with him and looks amazing. Now, about midway through this thing, well, here comes Miz and Morrison to cash in their money in the bank.
Okay, I don't know if it was before that or not, but what's the bodyguard's name again?
Almost.
Omos.
Yeah.
Omos.
I almost didn't get it right.
Can you post-edit in some booze there, please? It'll count as my Christmas present.
Wow.
No, I don't remember if it was before or after Miz, but at one point he like laser guides a chair into somebody's
Yes,
chest.
he did.
It was amazing because they didn't catch it on screen him doing it, but he's a tall man and he's got a good enough shot that it just flies straight into somebody's chest.
Yes, it did, and I think that's actually what prompted the Miz to come down because it knocked him.
That is it. Yes.
Yeah. So Miz comes running down with John Morrison
And cashes in to join the match.
Yeah. And so now we have a triple threat match. Here we go, baby. The Miz climbs like old people fuck. He was fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, which is weird. Yeah,
and
he's the freshest guy in the ring, and he's just all of a sudden the arthritis kicks in.
Yeah. What the hell? So they're going back and forth. There's loads of great spots here. which just goes to show you, Miz can be a player.
Absolutely.
Now, we all knew Miz was going to lose his shot. We all knew that. We all kind of knew AJ was not taking that title home.
But both at the same time did add a nice level of unpredictability.
There was. It made you forget for like a split second that this is wrestling.
Yeah.
And
it really is it really was one of those nice moments where, they love to boast anything can happen, and it really was one of those. It felt like anything was gonna happen.
Yeah,
there was a nice bit of chaos just put into that match.
It was really good. I enjoyed this match thoroughly. I think you guys will too. I gave this 4.5 Meltzer solid. It was just a lot of fun. Almost gets involved a couple of times. No sells a big chair shot.
Oh
that
yeah, no,
exploded.
They had a gimmick chair shot where Morrison just hits him while he's staring down. I think he tosses Miz. Is it Miz he tossed out or somebody?
I think it was.
I want to say it was.
I think it was Miz. Yeah,
and then
it was Morrison that hit him with the
Morrison
chair.
hit him. I'm saying because he was in the ring and tossed Miz out, I think.
Yeah.
And then Morrison comes to the rescue with a chair, hits him. The chair falls apart, and he has that Mongo moment where it's like, oh, you don't want to do that. That just makes him mad.
Now I just want to let me put this over how much they're actually putting over Almost right now.
Yeah.
This guy. Braun Strowman sells chair shots.
Yes, he does.
He didn't budge. I mean...
Nope, the camera was close on his face. He just looked like he was just staring there at the Miz the whole time.
Yeah. Taker sells chair shots. The biggest no-seller of all, Brock Lesnar sells chair shots. Mm-hmm. He didn't, guys, I'm telling you, he didn't blink twice. He stopped and gave that wrestler, what was that? I swear.
That better not have been a chair.
If somebody hit me with a chair when if you ever hit me with a chair and I find out about it.
It had that swagger of, I don't know what hit me, but if it was a chair, you're dead.
Yeah.
What helps the coolness factor is I am pretty sure he was dressed like Shaft.
Yes, he was.
He had the black turtleneck, and he had the deep tan the beige jacket.
Yeah. See, I could have, if he had a fanny pack, he could have been The Rock in the 90s. Because he had the gold chain going, too.
No, that's true.
4.5 Meltzers for this great match. Drew McIntyre retains. We knew he would.
I looked at the clock after that. It's like, I was surprised that was 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That was because it flowed so well.
Guys, that's the way you do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think all the matches pretty much went that way too. There's a couple of it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
but there was a couple of them that started to wear, but still not bad. Moving into our next match, we have the SmackDown Women's Championship, and this is going to be Sasha Banks, our champion, defending against Carmella.
This is the new Carmella.
She looks like a melted candle.
Carmelta.
She's had a lot of surgery over her quarantine time, and
what's weird is they've shifted her gimmick, but it's basically the same.
Yeah, it really is.
Because before she was obnoxious Brad, but now she's like obnoxious Club Brad who has a taste for fine wine.
Right. Which now she's selling, so there you go.
Oh, of course. Is that going along with the Ultimate Warrior and Undertaker vintages?
I would imagine so. I'll bet it's. God, it can't be the same price, could it?
No.
because
for anyone wondering, those are real things I just mentioned.
yeah, Taker wine's like $100 or something. Isn't that right, Hensley? Didn't we check on the Undertaker wine? It was $100.
You get a deal the more if you buy cases, but
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm about to stand by.
Yeah, no, if I remember correctly, it was something ridiculous. And there's the Ultimate Warrior wine. It's also the same price.
Undertaker 2018 Cabernet Sauvignon. Well, let's just see how much a 2-bottle pack. Only sold in the U.S. It's $50 per bottle, 2-bottle minimum per order. So yeah, you have to spend $100.
You have to spend at least $100 on it.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there are slight discounts the more you buy.
And the Ultimate Warrior Zinfandel.
Probably the same thing.
Yep, same thing. $50 a bottle.
Yeah. See, those are the worst McDonald's glasses that.
Well, you can sip on one of those while wearing your Undertaker Snoop Dogg shirt.
That's right.
Of your choosing. What did they? Quarantine was weird for them too.
Guess so. Yeah, and then you can have your mellow wine.
Yeah.
So, boom.
Your mellow yellow.
Moving. Well, no. Let's talk about this damn thing. This actually was a really good match. I forget that Carmella is a credible wrestler. I'm not saying she is a Charlotte Flair, Asuka, Tessa Blanchard, Cal. I don't think she goes in the Elite Seven, but she's a good hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not too many mistakes from her, and and when she does something, it's decent. I mean, does she deserve a world title? I don't know, but
well, I mean, she wasn't going to get one. Not again anytime soon.
not yet.
No,
We got other fish to fry first.
Yeah, right now they're working on Sasha, and so she was a credible threat to throw her way.
Yeah, but I would say, I mean, I think she's better than say Naomi.
Yeah.
She's definitely better than Peyton Royce, Billie Kay.
Right now, at least.
Yeah, Lana, Nia.
Definitely.
And I'll even go so far as to say Ruby Riott.
Okay, yeah.
I might stop around there, but...
I can see it, but it's like, excluding one obvious exception, most of those people would just need a little bit of time and they can work up. Yeah.
Right. This was this match wasn't bad. There was a couple of botches that they got a little confused on, and it wasn't even that they were botched. They slowed down too much for their spots. Is all. It wasn't really that bad.
That was a problem in a later match too.
Yeah, and
actually, it might have been the next one.
Sasha, I'm sorry, Carmella, she has this great spot that she's using a lot now, and in fact, she kind of needs to stop because it's getting to the point that it's you're expecting it now, and it should
be more of a once in a while kind of thing.
Yeah, to where they go for a leg lock and she reverses it, spins it into the what does she call that? I can't even think of it. The mellow rod, I don't know. It's the melanator.
The melon baller?
Yeah. I can't remember what the hell she calls it.
It's the mellow mushroom.
There it is.
Oh.
But it's basically a head scissor choke.
Okay.
And she just spins into it, and she does it every time now, and it looks great. But she does it so often that.
But if that's a move that's meant to be particularly devastating, then it can't be done every match and look like a nothing.
I just think I'm just worried about her transition into it.
Yeah.
It's like she does the same transition into it every time. Somebody has to grab. Somebody has to grab her into an STF or something like that for her to reverse it to get that move. And so she's just constantly waiting on somebody else to grab her.
Gotcha.
So that she can. There's got to be a better way. You got to be able to mix it up a little bit. But other than that, this is a fair to middling match. I'm not going to say anything bad about it. Sasha retains on this. Sasha looked good. This is 2 pay-per-views in a row for Sasha. I hope this is a tale of things to come. I gotta hope so, because I really am tired of hating on the women's division here.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it seems like that every single time I'm always talking shit about Sasha or any somebody else from the women's division, and I will again tonight. So, but yeah, Sasha goes over. I gave it a solid 3 Meltzers.
Okay.
And moving into our next match, there's nothing. Okay. We have the Hurt Business versus
this is what I was thinking of,
the New Day.
Yes.
Now, there was nothing wrong with this match. In fact, it was a really, really good match.
Absolutely.
However, if I had to pick a popcorn match, probably going to be this one.
Unfortunately, yeah. Because what you were saying about them slowing down too much to do their spots, and Sasha versus Carmella, it happened here too.
It did. It did.
To the point where I commented on the fact that Kofi was having to slow himself down to match everyone else.
And it was evident.
So obvious.
Yeah.
There was a point where I saw Kofi explode out of the corner with a kick, and then you just saw him almost literally go screech to a halt so he could keep up.
This was another point to where I don't think this match it might have went 20 minutes.
Maybe.
And it felt like it lasted a lot longer. It still wasn't bad, because we've had some tough ones this year in particular that only went
there have been some slogs,
20 minutes, and we like, goddamn, has this thing's been going on an hour now. Holy Lord.
And then there were ones that went on for exactly as long
right
as we thought they were.
Now, again, Kofi looked like he was slowing down. Cedric looked like he was slowing down a little bit.
You could tell they wanted to be doing this match at a very different tempo.
Right. Shelton Benjamin, I can't say nothing bad about him, man. If I were going to put somebody on the MVP, ironically, yeah, I need to think about things before I say them. But if I were going to make somebody the MVP of the night, it would definitely be Shelton Benjamin.
Sure.
He looked fantastic tonight. He looked better than I've seen him in a long time.
Yeah.
He did not look like a jobber to me anymore. And I guess he's really not, because he is now the
that's
Raw
right.
Tag Team Champion.
Hurt Business. I don't know why.
Did you just say the Hurt Business?
Look, I'm Southern. That'll happen every so often.
Jeez.
You don't normally hear it, but it slips in.
What are you, Steve Austin here?
I'm tired, all right?
Tell you what right now.
It's one of those things that
I like the Hurt Business.
I'm not going to lie. It's one of those moments. I've seen the other people post one online. It's like, I've said it ironically before, and now it's just slipped into normal conversation. Hurt Business. The Hurt Business beat the New Day to become the new tag team champions.
Yes,
or the new Raw ones, right? Yeah.
Yes, they did.
That's their business.
That
reminds me of the time I actually unironically said, I had never said it before, and I've made a point of never saying it again, but I went to go say the word "ate," and I said "et."
Okay, let me tell you something about that word that you just. Sorry.
Yes, no, that was me.
That, I'm a Southern man. I've been raised by mountain folk my entire life. So I've heard many a butchering of the English language.
Right.
Et being one of them. Most of the things I can tolerate, except the word et.
That's the thing.
It's kind of like how a lot of women don't like to hear the word moist.
That's a lot of people in general just that combination of vowel sounds apparently just
it angers me to something. I'm ready to fight.
What's weird about that is, again, like, not, I mean, I've never really heard I haven't heard a lot of people around me say it like that. It's just for some reason, my brain in that moment deleted a vowel, and it came out. That was the only time it's ever come out of my mouth like that. It was just like, this is the weirdest thing. Also, I get the anger because thinking about it is like, eat is already a 3-letter word. What are you saving?
It's already pretty short.
What are you saving time on?
So we have new Raw Tag Team Champions in the Hurt Business. So moving into our next match, we have the Women's Tag Team Champions, Shayna, versus Asuka. But who's her partner gonna be? Because Lana is out with an injury because Nia beat her up.
Nia laid hands on her.
She annihilated her.
I'm mad that I laughed at that. So mad.
Ooh, yeah. Well, I'm on fire tonight.
That got away from me.
Cut my mic off. You asshole.
Good. Finally, you're using your powers for
What kind
good.
of a jerk.
A man who's had enough.
Oh, I'm going to lob those up all night long now.
That got out of me before I could stop it. I just... That's Merry Christmas.
Yeah. So we find out who the mystery partner is.
Who was it?
It was none other than Charlotte Flair.
No.
Yeah, the surprise that everybody knew about. That's
I didn't, but then again, I paid zero attention between the last pay-per-views, so...
if you looked at the internet about wrestling one time,
it was basically an open
you
secret.
knew.
I had no idea.
And yeah, everybody knew Charlotte was coming back, and they were like, "Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense. This is what's totally happening." And then, boom, there it happens.
And boom, there was Natty Night.
Well, what kind of? How pissed would you be? He was like,
I don't know how pissed I'd be. I know how pissed you'd be.
Yeah, I would have led. This would have been the popcorn match. I was like, I'm not watching this. Let's say there is one good player in this band of ladies here, and I am leaving. Once again, a good match, despite Nia. Shayna was great.
She was.
Charlotte never looked better. Asuka was great. And then you have... a lot of people are calling Nia the worst wrestler, or the worst female wrestler in wrestling history.
That's hyperbole. That's not true.
Here's that's not
thing.
fair.
She knows how to work. She's just not good at it.
Exactly. She's terrible at it.
They've never seen that one Charmel match in TNA.
Right? Wow.
That is.
I was thinking about that today.
That's the one. That's the origin of the sound clip of Brian Alvarez yelling -5 stars.
Yes,
shouting it.
Oh my! Yeah, Charmaine.
Is it Charmaine? I thought it was Charmaine. Okay.
I was just thinking about that today. And that's so crazy that you randomly brought that up.
And it's a go-to because it's so infamously bad because it was her and the girl from Survivor Who,
Yeah.
if you want to talk about one of the worst wrestlers of all time, of course, it's a celebrity who's barely had any training that you
Right.
shove into the ring for notoriety.
See, I'm going to give those people a pass.
Yeah, again, because they want the notoriety. They
Yeah,
want
you're-
their
you're-
name there.
Yeah, you're looking for some clickbait there.
But she was put in the ring with someone who was not prepared to help walk someone through a match. So
Right.
so Nia is not. I mean, she's not on the bottom rung of this,
No,
but she's careless.
she's very careless. She might be close to the bottom rung.
Maybe.
She might be in the bottom 10.
She shouldn't talk.
She shouldn't talk. And this is something else. Out of all the people that Vince sent back to the Performance Center for extra training, he left out old Lana and Nia.
He did.
Didn't want to send those two back, huh? Not
No.
no.
It was weird.
Don't want to send maybe send Ruby Riott back for a little polishing. No, okay, all right. What about Naomi? You don't want to send No, you good with okay, all right, okay. Well, I'll be over here then. No, let's send Otis back, and let's send the limited Keith Lee back, and let's put him in freaking singlets.
Which is weird because Otis is. I mean, Keith Lee obviously not, but Otis's weight has never been an impediment to what he does. And he's actually been. I can tell he's lost weight already.
Yeah. And the weight's not the issue. It's never been the issue. And that's why I'm not saying that that's why McMahon sent him back, but it has been a factor for Vince in the past.
Yeah.
He sent Big Show.
Well, yeah. Big Show
down.
had to struggle with his weight somewhat, where he would kind of yo-yo sometimes, but not terrible. And Mark Henry was sent for kind of the same reason.
Mark Henry, Yokozuna was sent.
Yokozuna didn't care. Yokozuna was sent to fat camp and came back fatter.
Him and Vader were sent to say.
Infamously, they were sent by Jim Ross to lose weight, and they would sneak out at night and to restaurants and just eat.
It is my understanding there was a KFC down the road, and
You'd think they'd have caught wind of that sooner when you see a 600-pound Samoan man and a large and a not quite as large but a very large white man coming in together.
I mean, these are not small people, and how do you?
And they will attract attention because it's like you'll remember that duo.
Right. Because that's an odd an odd crew, right?
Especially if this was in the era when Vader was also kind of shaving his hair funny too.
Mm-hmm. Vader was shaving his hair funny
in between the mask bits.
Yokozuna had long black hair and 600 pounds. I mean, anyway, we're getting
Samoan the size of half a car. As
right. He's a quarter of a ton, over a quarter of a ton.
Yep.
Anyway,
but he's always he likes big strong men, but he's only likes, which is why he had the.
He wants you to be able to move around the ring.
Well, yeah, but Otis can,
and he can.
So can Keith. So can Keith Lee.
Which again makes me think that he sent them down.
He wants world bodybuilder type, not world's strongest man type.
Right.
Because the actual strong men are the guys who are muscle and fat.
Right. Which it kind of makes me think that he probably didn't send them down to lose weight.
No.
He probably sent them down to teach them how to work like big men.
Probably.
I can see him getting upset about that. I disagree. Because I think they work like big men should.
Yeah, but
with an extra.
Because Braun, I mean, if the issue is he's not acting like a big man should, then what's Braun doing?
Well, nothing right now.
So. I mean, previously.
No, solid point.
Because Braun sells.
Yeah.
I mean, there's never going to be anyone like Andre again.
No, and I think see, there's certain rules to pro wrestling that you need to. They're unbreakable rules.
Sure.
And then there's some rules that we can evolve from. I think the way a big man works can evolve. Now, I mean, within reason.
Sure.
I think if Darby Allin hits a man with a 460 splash, that's going to have one type of effect on you.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Otis hits you with a 450 splash, you're dead.
Yes.
And I think you should die appropriately. And if you don't die for real, I need you to commit Sudoku.
Well, I mean, you will die for real
Sudoku.
because a man that large doing. First of all, it's the only proper thing to do is to die when a man who is the size of Otis does a 450 splash.
Yeah, because you have clearly angered somebody in a former life or this one.
God lifted the laws of physics just so this could happen to you.
I remember one time a 300-pound man jumped off the top rope on top of me, and I peed a little. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was scared.
I mean, there's two thoughts in your head. What if this goes wrong, and what if this goes right?
Yeah, and will the twain meet? That's the problem. Asuka and Charlotte.
Yeah.
No, I want to go back to
Okay.
shit. Let's go back to shitting on Nia a little bit more. So at one
It's our
point,
favorite segment.
Nia is thrown out of the ring, and
Yes.
Charlotte goes to work on her and picks her up. Now, at first, Nia deadweights her, and I'm like, "Oh, look at this! She's actually gonna do this right,
Right.
because it needs to be two people to get Nia up." And
Sure.
so she's trying, and she pulls her hard, and then lets go. And then Nia gets up and rolls in the ring. And I'm like, boy, you don't give a damn about it, do you?
That's really where Nia falls apart, is the idea of when to sell, when to no sell,
right.
when to act. When she sells, you can literally see her hit a count in her head and then stop selling.
Excuse me. No, it's that's exactly what it is. I feel like you said this the last pay-per-view, and the more I've been watching her, the more it seems apparent that she is doing exactly that. She is laying on the ground. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Okay, get up. And that's what she's doing. I feel it in my bones.
And the part where she stops making it believable is the part where she just gets up. It's like she doesn't like struggle like she's just been slammed on the ground or run into something.
Right. It's but no, don't send her down.
No.
No, we're not.
She's fine. Who cares?
She's fine. She's fine. So now we have new tag team champions with already the SmackDown Women's or the Raw Women's champion Asuka, and now the Queen Charlotte Flair.
This will be interesting. I'm interested to see where this pairing goes.
Well, I think this is probably what they wanted to do with Shea Nia, but just couldn't get it off the ground for some reason. See, I think they were trying to. They're eventually going to have Asuka and Charlotte. They're going to start feuding. They're going to lose the tag team because they can't get along. Probably because Charlotte doesn't speak Japanese. I'm just going to put that out there. I think that's probably how it's going to get started. And then they're going to lose the belts, and then it's going to be Asuka and Charlotte at Royal Rumble, possibly Battleground or whatever the road to WrestleMania will give us.
They could just call it February pay-per-view for all they care about.
Really, because honestly, does anybody care about that February pay-per-view? I mean, anybody? It's. I mean, honestly, they could call any of them. It's January Royal Rumble, then February pay-per-view, then WrestleMania, then April pay-per-view, then May pay-per-view.
The ones that don't have a theme are the ones you can just call pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But especially the February one.
And the one after it's supposed to be Backlash.
It's the Thanksgiving of wrestling pay-per-views.
Yes, it is. It doesn't matter. So now we have, and we knew Charlotte was coming back, and we also knew when she comes back to join with Asuka, they are taking these titles because. I mean, again, you can call this before it hits the ground.
But you didn't know there was going to be an old man watching TV in the back.
I know, and so we were thinking all night. Well, Flair's going to do something because he's just sitting in Gorilla, staring at the monitor. Look at my girl in there. That's her. Give me some money. And
hey, big man, let me hold $1.
Come on now. But no, he thought he was going to run out. No, he didn't run out. He just sat there. They just kept going to clips of him. He didn't woo. He didn't cheer. He didn't clap. He just stared with a big goddamn grin. He didn't know what he was watching.
I don't think that TV was on.
Is that my wife?
I don't think they turned on that TV. They just put it on there in post.
Yeah. You're probably right.
We just found him standing staring at the TV, so we just used that footage.
I used to be here one time. Did I ever tell you about that? I made a lot of money. Bingo. So yes, and new tag team champions, Asuka and Charlotte, at least for the time being.
I want to be mad at your prediction, but it's like you somehow managed to tap into the WWE creative mind so well that it'll probably go somewhere down that road.
You know how I do it, man. I think of how I would do it, and then I think the opposite.
How you do it if you had a massive blow to the head?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I just go Bizarro 2 Doggz, and then I end up writing their shit for them.
Like, what's the thing I would if I had to book this in the way I would hate the most?
That's exactly what. Yeah.
If I were trying to kill this Fed,
which, If I were trying to run this thing into the goddamn ground, this is exactly what I would do.
And then you just watch it come true.
And speaking of running into the ground, let's go to our next match, which is the Universal Title TLC match, where we have Kevin Owens challenging Roman Reigns, the head of the table, the tribal chief.
I will start with a compliment.
Please do.
The compliment I will start with is they made sure to not keep a mic near Roman, so we didn't have to hear his monologue.
I'm going to say something else.
Sure.
Too. This is the best match I've seen Roman work the entire time he's been back.
Okay.
I'll take it a step further. It might be the best match I've seen him work in a couple of years.
I get what they were going for with this match, and we kind of both agreed it was actually really good until the end.
It was. Yeah.
I get what they were going for. It's like Kevin Owens is facing almost insurmountable odds because he's not really just fighting Roman.
Right.
He ends up fighting Jay.
You're fighting Jey Uso, tables, ladders, chairs.
Yep.
You got, So it's basically a three-way dance all over again.
Or a handicap, really.
Yeah, a handicap match. I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to say something now. Once again, now I looked on the internet and everybody liked this match.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. This was a great match.
But why?
This is what they said. Boy, I'll tell you what. Roman made Kevin Owens look so good.
Fuck off.
Right, that's what they said. Dude, that's what the internet is saying. Roman made Kevin Owens look like a champion.
No.
He looked credible.
Fuck off.
That's what they said, dude.
What? I fucking hate Bizarro World Twitter.
I mean,
Kevin did that job there.
Right.
And he looked phenomenal himself. That part near the end where Roman's going up the ladder and he stops and the camera shows half dead Kevin Owens grabbing him by the ankle.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, oh God, I don't understand what is going on with
Roman got the easier part of this deal. I'm not saying it was an easy match, but he got the easier part of this deal because Kevin Owens was the babyface in peril. Mm-hmm. The quintessential, and it was the whole thing of his arc in that match was never say die, and he did not.
Yeah, fight Owens, fight. He went back to his roots, and God, he was. I mean, now granted, Owens looked better than he's looked in a long time, but that's because of story.
Yeah.
God, he looked so good. He was a ball of fire coming in there. And I mean, for the first 10 minutes, he was dominating.
And he did, and he started that. They started that match, which is something I really liked. Which is, he came into that match. The match started with something that you don't normally see, that you should see in a match like this, which is Kevin came at Roman full force. Immediately tried to trounce him to a point where he could get up the ladder and win. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to make it. This is supposed to look like a major battle, and you want to. And it's like, why wouldn't you try to go full force immediately?
Exactly. He made it look like a wrestling contest.
Yeah.
And for a minute, even though I knew there is no way there is no way Kevin Owens is taking this title at the last pay-per-view of the year that they don't even care about anyway. There's no way this is happening. We all knew this.
Yeah.
We all knew it. But you know, the thing about it is he did such a good job.
Yeah.
You dared to dream.
You did. You really did.
It was great. It was so great. Yeah, I can't say enough.
It was a fierce and phenomenal match up until the end.
The end of this match. That's what killed it, and that's what kept this from making a 5 Meltzer.
Yeah. What they did. I'll just go ahead and say what they did. Kevin, at the end of it, they're both worn out. They're slugging it out. Suddenly, Roman is able to get like a front face lock on him, or like a.
Yeah, he had just. Kevin was going to the top.
Yeah.
Jimmy comes in.
Right. Jay.
I'm sorry. Jay comes in. He boots Jay.
Yes.
He starts to climb again.
Yeah.
He gets there. Here comes Roman. They fight back and forth. He headbutts him. Mm-hmm. He slams his head down on the rung of the ladder and then hooks him in a front face lock and guillotines him.
Against the ladder.
Yeah.
And then just holds him there. Owens passes out and he shoves him off and takes the title.
Now, honestly, if you're watching this without commentary, you don't know what happened.
Right.
Because it looks like Owens just kind of hops off the ladder.
Mm-hmm. I would have loved nearly anything else as a way to end that match. Not even like change who wins. I mean, like, if there was something like, say, they were fighting it out, Owens gets knocked off just briefly off the ladder, and he's struggling to get back up, but then Jay grabs him and forces him to watch as Roman just takes the title in some way where it's like he is forced to watch the injustice of not being able to fairly get that title.
Yeah, maybe he's trying to, maybe Roman is ahead of him and he's trying to climb back in.
Yeah.
But he's tired and he's hurt and he's rolling back into the ring. And Jay grabs both his legs and he keeps grabbing at the ladder and he's trying to kick Jay off, but and he's just seconds too late.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that's a worse story than this bullshit? This of a guillotine, a goddamn guillotine.
I wanted to, like you said, I wanted to see him still reaching for it.
Yeah.
At the very end, because the whole arc of the match, I said, is him being he's not dying, he's not going down.
Right. And I get the story they were trying to do. They wanted to do the Bret Hart, Steve Austin thing to where he didn't quit.
Yeah.
He didn't get beat. He passed out. I get it. You failed.
They failed miserably.
It's like if you were going to do that, tap him out at the base of the ring and then let him drop. Like tap him out while he's in the corner and hold it. And here's another thing. It would have been a little more believable or a little more authentic if he would have just arched back his neck.
Yeah.
A little bit to at least look like you were doing something.
See, I understand what they were going for with him against the ladder, as in he was using that for leverage to press against his neck and pass him. I get that. It doesn't look good.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't look good. It's like just arch back a little. Again, wrestling rules. Mm-hmm. You don't have to put pressure on. Just arch your back. It looks like you're putting pressure. That's not even a rule. That's just what is.
And again, such a shame because the rest of this match I loved it.
Yeah.
I love this match. Roman looked good in this match. I loved Kevin's, not just the never say die attitude, but also he had a lot of common sense moves in the match. Like he was just doing things. It's like, yeah, that's what you do in that situation.
Right. And at one point, Kevin even said, "You're gonna have to kill me."
Yes.
And just
because he was climbing back up into the ring. They're just staring at him, and he just says that, and it's just.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was like, man, we're here for this. This is, and we were, and the six of us that are in this room watching this pay-per-view. I think it's pretty much a collective. We all hate Roman Reigns. And we hate Roman Reigns matches. We weren't worried about it at this point.
No, not at all.
We were all into this match. And until Roman did great until that last 10 seconds ruined the entire match. Roman goes over. He gets the belt. They were so close to getting a 5 Meltzer. I don't think I've ever given Roman Reigns a 5 Meltzer anything. 4 Meltzers.
Yeah.
He was so close to getting a 5 Meltzer for me.
And again, I'm not even mad at Roman. I'm mad at whoever decided that was the way to finish that match.
I'm a little bit mad at Roman because I think he can. Look, I understand he's not great at his craft, but
I wasn't going to go there, but okay.
Well, no, I mean, let's just call it what it is. Look, Hogan wasn't great at his craft either.
That's fine.
But Hogan had a personality.
Hogan had a hell of a personality, and
he did.
He
covered the gaps with it, yeah.
It's one move. If you wanted to sell that, it still would have been a little anticlimactic, but still.
Can I chime in for a second here?
Please, absolutely.
I'm glad that everyone else enjoyed the majority of this match, but I couldn't. And like you said, we generally don't enjoy Roman Reigns matches, and it's because honestly, since he's come back, what's the point? Like, what's the story here? That Roman is tough?
Yeah.
That he's the new quote unquote what are we trying to sell here? What did Kevin Owens put all of that work into this match for? What did he get out there and put himself through that for when everybody watching this knew Owens wasn't going over, Reigns was going to walk away and still be the champ?
Yeah.
There was no point to it. There was no suspense to it. There was no sense at any point that Owens might take this. Everybody knew that Reigns was going to come out on top because that's just what the WWE is selling right now.
Right.
And everybody needs to get on board with the Roman Reigns train.
Surprisingly, a lot of people are, and
I know, and I don't get it. He is in my opinion, Roman Reigns is the most boring wrestler in the business right now.
I could not agree more.
There's nothing to him. He's a big guy with tattoos and long black hair.
Yeah, and he's wet all the time.
Yeah, you could swap him out. He's a poor man. He is
a mop with black hair.
He is Dollar General Jason Momoa.
He is.
Yeah, that's apt. Yeah.
If he could exhibit the emotive ability of Jason Momoa, he would be a megastar in my mind.
But I've never seen any emotive ability from him whatsoever.
That's the thing. That's the
and
weirdest
if they
thing.
keep I might just have to spend the entirety of Roman Reigns matches outside smoking, because every time he does that, I'm going to walk to the ropes and monologue to myself. I can't stand it.
I know.
I cannot stand these bullshit moments.
I don't blame you. I have to watch it so we can do this, but
right.
and that's my 2 cents on that match.
No, and I agree. But I have to preface it with this. The in-between story is great.
Sure.
It's still great. Even though we've moved on and we're going to move on past Kevin Owens onto I can only imagine we're probably going to do Kevin Owens one more time, and then the only other thing that I can think of is,
which sucks because
it's gonna have to, who it's gonna be.
Well, it just sucks because to move on past Kevin Owens like that is unfair to him, because that's Kevin Owens, former world champion.
Yeah. But the thing about it is, he's gonna move past Kevin Owens, but we're not gonna get Roman Reigns versus The Rock at WrestleMania. That's that rumor has been out there for a while now. That's guys. I love all of you very much. I hate to burst your bubble.
I think The Rock is smart enough to see that after what they tried to do with The Undertaker and other countless things,
right?
Him doing that for him going down for Roman would not help. Would not give him the rub that they really desperately want for him.
Yeah. Now, if anything, you're going to give him X-Pac heat.
Oh yeah.
But since they're not gonna do The Rock, what they're gonna do, right?
I just want you to say it.
I don't want to say it.
Say it.
Goldberg.
If it happens, it's your fault.
It's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen. I'm not happy about it, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen. WrestleMania.
Katie will hate you forever.
And at least we all know it'll be short.
That's true.
That'll be the best thing any one of us will have to say about it. At least it was short.
But see, this is my fucking problem with this. Why? We've done so much good of story here. We've done so much good work with our storyline. It's the only thing that we've done good as far as story goes this year or last year.
But what rub does that give him? It's like, Roman Reigns beat Goldberg. Yeah, in 2021.
Yeah, and to build it all up for fucking Goldberg? Why? I'm getting upset. I got to calm down.
Getting very upset.
Look, this has been a bad year for me. The only thing I have in this world right now is
getting hot in here. We haven't even gotten to the
wrestling.
Inferno match yet.
The only thing I have is wrestling right now, damn it, and I'm holding on to it like Christ died for it.
He did.
Damn it, I need better story. Creatively speaking, this is the worst year in wrestling. I mean,
They're not creatively bankrupt, but things are past due.
oh yeah. I mean, they're in collections. IRS is coming after them. Speaking of which, seeing as they've had such low ratings, they're bringing in Legends next week.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and I think people on Twitter were talking about it's like is it the 2 or 3 year anniversary of the McMahons just coming out on TV going, ratings have been terrible and we're sorry, so we're going to fix it?
Yeah.
I think
You
it was
remember that?
3 years. Yeah, they
Yeah.
collectively came out.
Yeah, I want to say it was
3.
actually...
I think it was 3. I think it was 3 years ago. I want to say 2017.
Yeah, no. I think it was 2018 that they did it because 2019 was the...
Okay.
was when they had EC3, and that's when the Heavy Machinery, they all debuted.
Okay.
And then they, yeah, and then all that happened.
They did it.
So,
Whew, things are getting hot. We haven't even hit the Inferno match.
I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I I'm getting way too upset about this.
He just feels ways about stuff.
I do. So yes, Roman is still your champion. That's fine.
Yeah.
I really, guys, I
That's
know I'm
not the
upset about
problem.
something. I'm fine with Roman
That's not
being the
problem.
champion.
No.
I think as far as story goes, I think it should have gone that way. I can't imagine where you're going to go if Kevin Owens wins this one. But yeah, I think it had to have been Roman.
I think they should line him back, keep him on deck as a credible threat, though.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, till WrestleMania. I know what they're wanting to do. They want to put him up against Goldberg because Goldberg is so freaking hated that it'll turn him face.
I thought the whole point...
What was that noise?
It was a choked laugh because I thought the whole point of Roman finally going heel was because you people hate him so much, just fine, go ahead and boo him.
No, they're wanting to make him a Hogan. They're gonna make him a Hogan if
No.
it kills him.
It will kill them.
Oh yeah, it will. It will.
It will kill them. If this is the hill they want to die on, they're going to die.
They said is that, you know what, we will turn him heel. We will make this man the most hated man. We will do it like we did The Rock. And
Yeah.
I know. It's, the biggest
but
problem is Roman Reigns is not The Rock. I mean,
And the Nation of Domination had a charisma, too.
yes, they did. I mean, the worst player in that game was D'Lo Brown, and he was amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we have a 4 Meltzer rating. Kevin, great job, but Roman is still our Universal Champion. I'll see you at the gimmick table. Now, moving on to our main event. And why was this our main event and not the Universal title? Well, because
You about to find out.
this is a Firefly Inferno match. We haven't had an Inferno match it's been over a decade, hasn't it?
At least.
I mean,
My favorite part was watching, well, after we were watching everyone coming out trying to figure out who's getting lit on fire based on what they're wearing.
yeah, because that's how you know.
Usually, yeah. The next question was, wait, where's the fire?
Yeah, because it's usually wrapped around the ring.
Yeah.
It's but they've added a couple little things to it, and it's fine. I'm actually good with it because now
Oh, yeah.
we can actually roll around outside the ring
Sure.
without having to do a Meteora outside over the top ropes and the flames.
Well, you want to get away from the fire, you got to earn it.
Yeah. So, yes, the Fiend comes out.
Well, first we were worried about Randy coming out because he came out and he wasn't in his normal trunks. He was in full sweats.
Yeah. And so we already thought, I was like, well, there you go. See, this is where they did swerve me.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I thought there's no way that they would do this to the Fiend. He's running hot. Ha ha ha. He is he is over right now. The Fiend can't lose this match, even though just as far as stylistically meaning what he's wearing, that he should be the only one. But then when Randy comes out and he's wearing a hoodie and he's wearing some heavy guards for wristbands,
Yep.
and he's wearing some BDUs
That reminds me.
that were also taped.
Slightly off tangent. When Drew McIntyre came out for his match, he was wearing his kilt. He was also wearing
Got some bracers, yeah.
metal wrist bracers, and we were all complaining like, no, keep those on. That's legal.
Yeah.
He should have kept those on the whole time. Just Wonder Woman him with it upside the head.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to this match.
But yeah, so when he comes out, I'm like, oh, good, they're going to do it right.
Everything you have said so far just goes to show that the writers actually do know how to swerve us. They just usually choose not to.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Or they do it. Or they just choose the wrong thing to swerve about.
Right, yeah. Now, Fiend comes out in his gear. He leaves his coat on.
Yes.
So now we're confused.
Unusual.
Yeah. So we're like, okay, everybody here is in full regalia.
Yep.
I also found out that they recorded this match earlier that afternoon. No point to that, just a little piece of information for you.
It does make sense though with how that match is. I can't imagine. That's the one thing about this match. Like I can't imagine what they would have done with a crowd.
Oh yeah. Well, they couldn't have done it.
They would have
way.
had to set it somewhere away from the arena
Yeah, without question.
for them to do what they wanted to do. Or lights would have had to go out or something. You know.
This was a knockdown, drag out fight.
It was.
Now we go about 10 minutes before we see any fire whatsoever. They're slugging it out back and forth. They're in the ring. They're out of the ring. They're all over the place.
I don't think it was that long, but
You think? I thought it was about 10. It could have been 5, I guess.
I think it was less because I mean the Fiend summoned it.
Yeah. And the Fiend opens up his hands much like Taker or Kane, and
I was disappointed. He did the arm raise, but he didn't do the slam down like Kane does.
Yeah.
Kane should.
yeah.
And I think we need to give a shout out to host of This Is a Takeover, Shelby Ray, who accurately called at the beginning of this match. Does the Fiend have superpowers now?
He does.
And
Yep.
then 5 minutes later, he raises his arms and
poof.
oh my God, he has superpowers now.
Yes. Yes, and well done, Shelby. Talk to you about a senton here in a little while. No, this match is going great right now. Once he shows he's magic, the match proceeds, and again, it's back and forth. It's all over. They get really uncomfortably close to the fire, especially Randy. And then I start thinking about Bray and his dreads.
Fuses. I mean dreads.
They went. It was really just a brawl, so not so much a wrestling match.
Mm-hmm.
It was just really punching and kicking, and then a few spots here and there. That was really
As evidenced by not even having a ref out there.
right. And that's really all there was to it. Not too much more to call other than that.
No, but what carried it was the intensity of it.
It was, very intense.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, the way it goes down is they're outside the ring. Randy goes for an RKO. He blocks and hits him with the mandible claw.
Yep.
Once he hits him with the mandible claw, Randy pushes him back into the fire, setting his jacket ablaze. And I mean an uncomfortable blaze.
Yeah.
To where I was like, and again, the only thing I'm thinking about is like, his dreads are on fire. His freaking dreads are on fire. What? Come on, what, guys?
I will say this. Say what you want. It worked, and
It did.
Everything about that match worked, especially the way the Fiend lost, because it was a matter of convenience, and Randy took advantage, and got the win that way.
He got the win. He set him on fire.
And then
Randy still wasn't happy.
Randy got an idea. Randy got a terrible, awful idea.
He reaches for that gasoline that was out there.
Yeah. Oh, I should point out earlier in
The
the
rocking
match,
chair.
there was the rocking chair bit where the Fiend soaks a rocking chair and leaves a trail and puts Randy in it, tries to light him on fire that way.
And Randy gets up. That's like
The Fiend also uses a leather strap that has an end that he lights on fire.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's right. That was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he gets the gasoline.
Yeah, there were small gas cans, but near the under ring area.
Mm-hmm. And he climbs back into the ring. He douses the Fiend in gasoline.
Yep. Didn't he douse him twice?
Yeah, he did.
He grabbed another can, doused him. Then he goes out and finds a conveniently placed box of matches.
Yeah, just hanging out there by the timekeeper's
with extra long
area.
fuses, with extra long match heads.
He let it burn almost all the way down to his fingers, and then he dropped it on the Fiend, setting the Fiend on fire.
Ablaze.
Bray Wyatt is dead.
No, the Fiend is dead.
Bray Wyatt is dead.
I've never seen them in the same place at the same time.
If he's not dead, Bray Wyatt and the Fiend, both characters are now buried. Now, here's the thing.
I don't think they're buried.
I think they are. At least for if I haven't watched Raw yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If we see Bray Wyatt or the Firefly Funhouse this coming Monday or next Monday,
Mm-hmm.
then he's as good as buried. Now, if we wait 2 months and maybe come back, and then poof, here's the Fiend again. We'll shut the lights out, and then he attacks somebody, and there we go. The Fiend's back. Then okay. But because The Undertaker did that every time he lost a buried alive match or a casket match, he would disappear for a few months, takes a vacation, gets some surgery or whatever. What?
To your point, on Raw, apparently. Oh, sorry. To your point, apparently on Raw, Randy came out and gloated about his victory,
Mm-hmm.
and then he left the ring as the arena darkens. As the lights turn back on, he sees Alexa Bliss on her swing set with her new segment called Alexa's Playground.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll have to see where that goes. Okay. Well, I'm going to go home and watch that.
I like this. Under the results for TLC 2020, the result for the Firefly Inferno matches, Randy Orton killed the Fiend, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah. He murdered a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say this for the production crew. This is not a compliment I have ever given towards their their pre-recorded segment department whatsoever. There were times during the match when Katie pointed out that this was pre-recorded. Mm-hmm. They swerved me too, because I thought this was live for the majority of it, all the way up until the point in which the Fiend went up in flames.
Yeah.
They did a very good job of hiding the fact that it was pre-recorded.
The technicality is they're playing it live, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I thought they did a masterful job with that. It was a great match. I am upset about the Fiend going under. Part of that is because I'm a Fiend fan. Part of that is because, you've got two good stories here, and one of those stories can work.
Here's the thing. I think if the bullshit with Goldberg hadn't happened, this would be perfectly acceptable to me. Or perfectly acceptable for everybody. this actually works really well, especially considering their history.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Unfortunately, yeah, you're right. It's going to feel like a burial until further notice because, again, of the bullshit with Goldberg and, previous...
And then the Hell in a Cell previous to that.
Yes.
Just in case you forgot.
That.
Oh, wow. Boy, I know, thinking back on it, right? That's something else.
We still just look at various wrestlers and go, this isn't you, blank.
I having said it, even though I have some problems with where they're going to go, future tense, I really, really enjoyed this match. It was a lot of fun.
It was.
It was creepy, and somebody was murdered. So
it's true. Wikipedia says it.
Yeah.
Everyone else was defeated. The Fiend was killed.
yeah, he was killed in the ring by fire.
They didn't just say like he was lit on fire. He was killed.
Yeah. Yeah, you kill it with fire the same way you do spiders and Freddy Krueger.
And that was verified with a secondary source because that's how Wikipedia does it.
There you go. I gave this match 4 Meltzers. Mm-hmm. Overall, I gave the whole pay-per-view 3.5. I almost gave it a 4.
Yeah.
But you got to blame Roman Reigns on that
I would.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that ending, put a damper on some excitement. But overall, good show.
Yeah, very good show. So let me ask you, if you had to pick your best dressed,
I couldn't really pinpoint one person.
yeah,
It was weird. I don't really have a best or worst dressed this time.
really?
No one really stood out one way or the other.
That's true. Nobody is trying to dress up right now.
Well,
I guess
it's not even that I wouldn't say really trying. It's just like no one really caught the eye. I think the most surprising thing was Otis wearing an actual singlet.
See, that's my worst dressed. I'm angry about it.
I didn't say it was good. It was a surprise.
Right.
So was Baron Corbin had new ring gear. It looked
did.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
And everyone who normally looks great did, and it's just but there was just no real standouts this time. I didn't think.
No. So not a best or a worst.
No.
So what you're saying is nobody gave a damn
That is
about
not
the
what I'm saying.
TLC pay-per-view at the end of the year.
That's not what I'm saying. That is what you're saying.
It sounds like that's the feeling of it. It's the spirit of what you're saying.
They didn't even do much in the way of like making it even a little bit Christmassy, aside from the standard horror trope of slowed down Silent Night during the Fiend package.
Yeah, that's always
where
fun.
we started picking other random Christmas songs to slow down.
Well, then let me go to David Hensley. What about your best performance of the night?
All right. I don't really have one, so I just picked somebody who gave a performance that night and who is going to piss off the listeners when I say their name, just like the
Bailey.
last episode.
You beat me to it.
Close. Billy Kay.
No, that was great.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you pissed me off too. Boo.
I'm giving it to her solely for that promo that she did with Oscar.
The position
Okay.
has been filled.
No, that's your best one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
okay, never mind.
position
I'm
has been
corrected.
filled.
Yeah. She has some comedic chops and therefore puts her above the majority of the rest of the wrestlers in terms of performance.
I agree. I agree.
Other best performance, Big E's hips.
Always.
Now, what about your worst performance of the night?
What do you fucking think?
Baron Corbin.
No.
No?
We're close.
No?
Roman fucking Reigns.
It's one of the we've never seen them together, so we don't know.
Dollar store Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Like, stop fucking trying to give him storylines to act. If he's
Dollar
supposed
store.
to be just a tribal chief monster, then just let him go out there, do what his shirt says, wreck shit and leave. Stop trying to have him fucking perform.
Can I amend that?
I agree.
Dollar store clearance rack. Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I mean, he's a fucking asylum film. Or
Yeah.
any of the other, he's Transmorphers.
Yeah.
He's Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
Zombievers.
Zombievers is better than Roman Reigns.
Wow. See, that's...
I can't make that assertion.
Roman Reigns is Sharknado 6.
Wow. Wow. See, that's... I don't know that I would
Because it tries to be
quite
sly with
that
a
far,
it
but,
tries to be sly with a wink and a nod, but it's still just bad.
It's outlived its welcome. And God, we made a lot of horrible jokes that night that I'm just now remembering that I'm not going to repeat on the air.
No, we shouldn't do that.
That's why we got them all out before the podcast.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's my best and worst.
Now, we decided that we're not going to do a year-end review this year, but I did want to bring up some of the predictions that I made last year.
Okay.
And if you'll bear with me for a moment while I pull them up on my computer, and so I can say exactly what I got right and what I got wrong. So it'll take just a second. Talk amongst yourselves.
Here are the jokes we didn't tell you that we told on Sunday.
Well, while he's pulling that up, it's worth noting that we're not doing the year in review for two reasons. One, we are rapidly approaching our 100th episode, which we have already set aside as a special family crossover event. And two, as Doggz pointed out, what is there to review this year? We watched pretty much the exact same performers wrestle at every single pay-per-view. It was a very limited roster.
No, you're absolutely right. That was one of the reasons I didn't want to do it. I just felt that, again, creatively speaking, for wrestling, one of the worst years ever. And I'm including when Mantor was part of the WWF roster.
Awesome.
Compared to what? Are you kidding me?
Mantar is fantastic.
No, he is not. Why would you? I'm a little shocked. You've been my partner
Wait,
for 3
You're
years
shocked
now.
that you're
and
shocked that I'm a wrestling fan and I like terrible things?
It's
Yes.
I don't know if I can do this anymore.
I put up with this guy's evil now, so I'm going to glom onto him despite the fact that I've always hated him or her
What?
previously, but I'm going to
Who
go.
does that?
That's weird, and that's who would do that? What jerk would do that?
That does.
But I like one terrible gimmick, and all of a sudden, this partnership's in trouble.
Okay, let's see if we can what other terrible gimmicks are out there that you like?
Tune in next month for the next episode of This Is A Work, hosted by David Two Dogs Hayes and Robert One Ball Bradford.
I'm telling Robert you said that.
I'm sorry, Robert. I was grasping at
tweeting
straws.
him right
I'm
now.
so sorry.
Well, I like that terrible gimmick where you like people just because they go heel, so you defend them at every turn.
That's not a gimmick. That's my way of life.
Oh. Well, apparently I like a terrible person.
Okay, here it is. Now, this time last year,
Okay.
I predicted, I think that the man Becky Lynch's reign will come to an abrupt end. I was right.
You were right. If only you had gone one further, Karnak.
I know, right? Now, this one, I got this one wrong. I thought that The Fiend is going to be the next big thing in the WWE. Well,
I mean, everyone wanted it to be, but they just...
yeah, everybody wanted it, except...
I mean, to use the parlance of our times, he is lit.
Stop it. How? It's my night to do the bad jokes. I did. I predicted that NWA Power was going to fold. Not quite, but we're getting there. I also let's see. I also predicted that AEW would on Dynamite would produce a new surge of popularity in wrestling and start kind of moving us back into the mainstream. Not yet. But again, I contend that had it not been for COVID, a couple of these things might have happened.
That's true.
I also said that now the predictions that I'm making for next year, I don't have too many because I'm scared out of my mind to make them. So I'm just making some safe things. I think crowds will very slowly return to WWE.
Probably, especially with the vaccine rolling out.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to be at capacity anytime soon. I don't think we'll be at capacity anytime next year.
Realistically, no one should be.
And I do think next year, MJF might catapult himself into being your next Hogan, your next Flair, your Austin Rock, whatever. I think he's going to be that guy.
I don't know if that'll happen in the next year.
I think so.
I mean, be great
because we're still dealing with COVID too. So
be great if he does, but I don't know. I think that'll take a little more work.
And I still have a prediction. I thought it was going to happen this year, but I'm still saying it's going to happen before WrestleMania. I think there are some championship belts in the WWE that are going to be unified. Those are my predictions. Hopefully that will happen. We'll see. We'll see. So anyway, those three are my predictions for 2021 in wrestling. Guys, that's about all I've got. What about you guys?
All right. Well, as I mentioned, this is going to be episode number 97 of Long Walk Podcasts. That's including all four of the shows that we produce: Long Walk Talks, This Is a Work, This Is a Takeover, and Long Walk Teeny Talks. Our 98th episode is going to be a Long Walk Teeny Talk, the last one of the year that Katie and I recorded, and then the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood episode of Long Walk Talks is going to be number 99.
Whoa.
So that means, unfortunately, we're not going to do a Christmas episode this year, but let's be honest, we were never going to top all of the other reindeer, so I don't know why we even tried with Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
I feel like it's up there with it. I loved both of those episodes.
It's up there, but I think we peaked at all of the other reindeer. So we have those to look forward to. Doggz, if people want to stalk you or reach out to you online, where can they do that at?
You can find me on Instagram at This Is A Work Podcast, all underscores for spaces. I've got a TikTok. I'm never on it. But if you want to DM me on there.
That's shocking. You were trying to be TikTok famous for a while.
Yeah, I gave up on it. I started.
2020.
Yeah, I was trying to watch some fun stuff. I tried to be a part of it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm too cool for this community, but I am gonna watch the rest of you jackasses.
Nice.
I did find some wrestling TikToks on there that I'm having fun going back and forth with them, and they're getting angry at me, so that's fine.
Yeah, that's always fun. Chris, if people want to lightly stalk / reach out to you online, how can they do that?
Well, they can argue with me on Twitter, where I'll drag them down to my level and beat them with experience. I'm on Chris the OK there.
Nice. And if you want to follow me personally, you can do that on Instagram at DBHensley. If you'd like some more information about Long Walk Productions, you can visit our website, longwalk.us. You can also like us on Facebook by going to facebook.com/longwalkpro, or you can follow all the podcasts on this network by searching for Long Walk Podcasts on Facebook. And as always, if you enjoy the show, please make sure to leave us a rating and a review on whatever platform you are listening on. So, Doggz, take us home.
And for David Hensley and Chris Barnes, wishing all of my true believers out there a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, and everything else that you're partying with this time of year. Enjoy yourself, and remember, if you got out of bed today and you had a job to go to, and you've got somebody that cares about you when you get back home, friends, this match is over and you just won via pinfall. Thank you for listening to This Is A Work.